This is Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast. I'm Mark Berry. This week on Top Shelf, our ine+nutrition player spotlight with Emanuel Sequeira is with Ollie Clement of the Beaver Valley Nitehawks. We'll also be joined by Merritt Centennials head coach Wes McLeod. So heading into week 9, the power rankings were led by the Merritt Centennials, the Princeton Posse, the Kimberley Dynamiters, Beaver Valley Nitehawks, Grand Forks Border Bruins, and Revelstoke Grizzlies. Your division leaders heading into the weekend, Kimberley in the Eddie Mountain, Princeton in the Bill Olhausen, 100 Mile House in the Doug Burks, while in the Neil Murdoch, Beaver Valley has top spot. Turning to special teams, Princeton has the best power play at 24.4%. Williams Lake is next at 24.1%. On the penalty kill, Revelstoke number 1, 90.5%. Beaver Valley is second at 90%. Having said that, Beaver Valley is +4 on the PK. They've scored 12 times and allowed just 8. That's amazing and unheard of. The top scorer, Matthew Langdon of the Posse with 32 points, followed by Levi Astle from the Grand Forks Border Bruins and Brayson Dubé from the Kamloops Storm at 27. There are 3 players with 24 points, Asher Lucas, Williams Lake, Ethan Davey, 100 Mile House, and Taylor Haggerty, Fernie. Amongst goaltenders playing 300 minutes or more, Connor Stojan from the Nitehawks at number 1, 942 save percentage, Gibson Horn from the Posse at 935, and teammate Blake Sittler at 934. 20 goalies have save percentages north of 900. Time now for the ine+nutrition player spotlight. Boost your energy naturally with Canada's best tasting super greens by ine+nutrition. Abundant in over 50 antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals, ine+ super greens will improve your immune and digestive systems, increase your energy, and enhance your mental clarity. You'll feel better overall, almost like you can tackle any challenge. Shop now at www.ine+nutrition.com and use the code KIJHL10 to get 10% off your order.
Nighthawks 2-on-1. Coming down, looking for another one in front. Off the stick. Great opportunity there for the Nighthawks to tie it up shorthanded. Again, and they score! Shorthanded Ollie Clement. Another one. On the same power play for the Coyotes, and this game's all tied up. Number 12 on the year.
Wow.
Good thing you put that jersey on, huh?
Yeah, I'm taking, if there's no second assist on those goals, I'm taking it. Wow.
I'm joined by Ollie Clement of the Beaver Valley Nitehawks. Ollie, welcome to Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast.
Thanks for having me on.
Ollie, your team is second in the league in the penalty kill. Why do you think the group is so impressive on that? It's at 90%.
Honestly, we practice it a lot in practice. We have usually our Thursday practice is dedicated to our power play and our penalty kill, and guys take it seriously. We have lots of guys in our roster. Everyone's fighting for a spot every night, so guys are ensuring they work as hard as they can and doing everything they can to stop pucks and clear them out and not get scored on.
What do you think about the fact that the team leads the league with 12 shorthanded goals?
Yeah, no, that's an interesting fact. I don't know how that came about, but I think a lot of it could be, like I said, many guys are working as hard as they can, so it gives us a little more incentive to work harder. And I wish, honestly, we could play like we did on the penalty kill 5-on-5, like the whole entire game, because it gives guys a lot more, 100% effort, like blocking shots. And it's helped us a lot this season just because not only are we stopping them from goals, but obviously getting that momentum scoring on the shorthanded goal, it just feels that much better. So
you lead the team with 4 shorthanded goals. Why do you think that you've been able to capitalize on the penalty kill like you have?
I've had a couple empty netters, I'm not going to lie, on the shorthanded kill there, so that helps quite a bit. But as a veteran player, you know what needs to be done. It's defense first, and I think it could happen to anyone on our team. We got lots of solid guys, and you kind of just focus on getting the puck out of your zone first, and then putting it in their net a couple times. I didn't know they were empty, and I just got it out, and I put my head up, and I see there's no goalie in the net, and it was there, just a present on my doorstep. So
How does the group feel that it's playing of late?
obviously it felt good to take it to Kimberley there. I don't know if you watched the game. It was a 10-2 win, or 10-1 win. So that felt really good, giving us confidence. And then unfortunately kind of laid an egg the next night versus the Soyuz at home. That doesn't feel good, but I think we're happy with the position we're in right now. We're not content. Obviously, everyone's striving to do better, but right now I feel our losses have given us learning curves. There's been all sorts of different types of losses, whether it's a good beat down or a close game. And we've really learned kind of not to take a lead for granted or things like that. So I think it's been a good learning curve so far. We're feeling good this week in practice. So I don't know, I couldn't ask for much more. Hopefully we can continue on this kind of good mojo past Christmas and through the end of the year and take a spot at the top of the league near the end here, and then move on to playoffs feeling good. So
yeah, I mean, talk about that. Yeah, as you mentioned, the 10-1 victory against Kimberley and then the loss to Soyuz. Like, do you guys know why that happened? Like, I imagine that big win gives you a massive high, right?
Yeah. Obviously, there could be many different opinions on it, and people see it different ways. But for me, I feel it was just complacency in the room. You feel like you're on top of the world, and then you're walking into a team that's maybe lower in the standings than you, and you think you're going to have just an easy cakewalk of a day. And bottom line, we just got outworked because we weren't prepared for it. Like I said, that's one of those learning curve things and a loss there. We're taking it and moving on from it, working on from it. Just, a lot of our team prides having emotion towards their losses, but then also having a kind of a goldfish mentality and just forgetting it and working on to our next victory and working towards our next goal rather than reminiscing on losses that we've had and things like that. So
that's Ollie Clement of the Beaver Valley Nitehawks. Ollie, thanks for joining us on Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast.
Thanks again for having me. It was my pleasure.
The Player Spotlight is a presentation of ine+nutrition. This is Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast, now available on YouTube. Up next, Merritt Centennials head coach and assistant general manager, Wes McLeod.
Young with the steal. He's got some open ice. Young to the backhand. It's in! Muscling it across the line. Sammy G makes it 1-0.
I'm joined by Wes McLeod, head coach and assistant general manager of the Merritt Centennials. Wes, thanks for joining us on Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Wes, your team is fresh off winning 3 games in the Kootenays, ending with an impressive comeback win in Grand Forks. We'll start off with that game in Grand Forks. Kind of talk about what triggered that impressive third period comeback.
I don't know if something triggered it specifically, but the guys obviously have been playing a pretty good brand of hockey. And I think for us, there might have been a feel out process to that game. Grand Forks is a big team and they've got some guys that play pretty physical. So I think we might have been a little bit on edge early on, and we kind of got more and more comfortable as the game went through and got back to kind of what our identity is and what drives our bus. So, for us, it's just about continuing to build off that, and overall it's a good weekend.
So then was it something maybe that you said during the intermission, or what kind of messages did you give the guys to really kind of spark that comeback? Was there something that you think that you said that helped get them going?
Maybe, I don't know. Like I'd love to say that I have all the answers, but I don't. And half the time I'm, just trying to feel the room and what it needs. And we had a power play there to start the third period, and we had a chance to kind of climb back and make it a little bit closer. And all we really talked about was putting pressure on them. Let's find a way to make this game close and put pressure and see what they're made of. And as momentum built there through the third, you could feel that the comeback was for real and it was going to happen.
What did you like about the way the team played during that trip?
Yeah, I think we liked a lot of things. We definitely played to our identity in a few of those periods. Like if you look at the trip as a whole, we had 2 periods and we scored 6 goals in the second period in Castlegar and obviously the third period in Grand Forks. When we're at our best, we're relentless. We're hunting. We're on our toes. Guys are pressuring pucks, and we did a really good job of it in those moments. And then we also had a few periods where we were flat. And on those 3-game road swings with travel, it's tough to play perfect hockey for 60 minutes all the time. And I thought we did a good job at times of surviving when we weren't at our best. And then when we found our legs, we definitely took games over.
This is your first year coaching junior A hockey. Touch on maybe what are some of the things that you're learning early on as a coach at this level?
Yeah, so I think the biggest change for U18 to junior A is obviously the roster size and being able to have healthy scratches every night or bodies come in and out of your lineup, and that's something that we try to use as a strength for our program. Is we talk a lot about flexing our depth and being able to inject players in and out of a weekend like we did in that 3-game series, and that helps keep the energy levels up, and guys are able to play with different players on a different night and understand that that depth is what helps us get through those 3-and-3s.
So then obviously too, that would mean, I'm guessing that you have internal competition for guys wanting to battle to be in the roster on a consistent basis.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely part of the culture that we're creating here is ice is earned, it's not given. And if you want to play, then you need to fight for your spot every day in practice and throughout the week. And that goes to everything within our program, our off ice, our strength conditioning, our community involvement. It all ties together into who plays in the games on the weekend.
So as I mentioned before, you're the assistant general manager on the team. Just kind of tell people what that means in terms of what your role is. Like, what do you do as the assistant general manager that they may not know or understand?
Yeah, I think it's just more about supporting Brad and the GM role. So for me, it's obviously part of it's roster construction, putting out the weekly schedule for the players, helping to put together the program, what it looks like, helping to build the staff, helping to recruit the support staff and some of the volunteers and that sort of thing. Some of the community engagements that our players will have within Merritt. It's just a lot of the administrative work and the behind the scenes work of how programs are built.
How much input do you have with Brad when it comes to, making player trades, or as you build into next season, recruiting players for the future?
I think Brad and I just work collaboratively. We talk about every decision that's made within the on-ice side of the hockey, and we've built a good relationship here where, there's guys that he's brought in that I don't know, but I trust him that they'll fit in and help our group, and they have, and vice versa. There's guys that I've brought in that he doesn't know, and, he trusts that, again, we'll be able to make the team stronger if we're all working together, and we just we collaborate on everything, and it's been a strength of ours, I think, in terms of having two really good hockey minds that can pull in different directions to get talent in here, and as a first year program, it was a big job. There was a lot of work involved in getting the players at the caliber that we needed to be competitive, and I think we've done a really good job of doing that.
Talk about what you like right now about the makeup of the roster.
Yeah, so I think for us is we've got some skill, but we're extremely competitive in terms of the players we have, especially up front. The guys are hardworking and they're tenacious and relentless on the forecheck, and they can all skate. So we play a pretty fast brand of hockey, and especially in our rink, it's a smaller size rink, as you know, and it can turn into fast hockey if you're putting pucks in the right areas, and that's something that we're trying to work on every week, and it allows us to play the brand that best suits our players.
Because the KIJHL Power Rankings came out with your team at number 1. What do you like about the way that your team has been playing in that last stretch of 10 games that you want to keep building on?
Yeah, so what I like most about the games we've won, for the most part, is that they've all been very tight games. We've won a lot of one-goal games. We won a lot of games in overtime and shootouts. You're finding ways to win games in different ways. Obviously, we had a few high-scoring games over the course of the weekend there. But for the most part, we're just finding ways to win, and it doesn't look the same every night. And that's usually the telltale sign of a good hockey team, that they can, adapt within the game and what the other team is throwing at them, or how the other team is, trying to gain an advantage, and we can adapt our game to find 2 points that night.
That's Wes McLeod of the Merritt Centennials. Wes, thanks for joining us on Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast.
Thanks a lot, Emanuel.
This is Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast, available on Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and on the KIJHL.ca website. Our thanks this week to the KIJHL broadcasters, in particular John Coots, Ben Phillips, and Jared Thomas. KIJHL Director of Communications Emanuel Sequeira, Centennials head coach Wes McLeod, and Beaver Valley Nitehawk Ollie Clement. A big thank you to the good folks at ine+nutrition. Don't forget to use the code KIJHL10 to get a discount. Finally, a stick tap to Flow Hockey, which brings our players closer to their families and friends back home. I'm Mark Berry. This is Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast. We're back in 7 days.